March 1945. World War II raged across the globe. American soldiers fought on distant shores. Yet even as Texans contributed to the war effort, a strange new threat emerged from an unexpected source: the sky. Japanese balloon bombs carried by the jet stream made their way across the Pacific Ocean, landing in the heart of the Lone Star State. These were no ordinary weapons. Crafted from paper and fueled by hydrogen, these balloons carried a deadly payload of explosives and incendiaries, their mission to sow terror and destruction across the American West. While most Americans remained unaware of this aerial assault, a few Texans received a startling first-hand glimpse of the enemy's ingenuity. The arrival of these unexpected visitors shocked and bewildered those who encountered them. The vast distance they traveled, coupled with their unconventional design, underscored the lengths to which Japan would go to strike at the United States. The incidents in Texas serve as a stark reminder of the global reach of World War II and the unexpected ways in which conflict can touch even the most seemingly distant corners of the world. Two small Texas towns, Desdemona and Woodson, would become forever linked to this unusual chapter of World War II history. In Desdemona, on March 23, 1945, a 15-year-old boy named C.M. Pug Guthrie witnessed a peculiar sight: a large white balloon descending from the sky. Intrigued, young Pug chased after the deflating balloon as it landed in a nearby field. The next day, about 8 miles north of the town of Woodson, Texas, in Throckmorton County, a cowboy named Ivan Miller was working on the Barney Davis Ranch and stumbled upon another strange object: a large collapsed balloon lying in a pasture. Authorities quickly arrived on the scene in both towns, confirming the objects as Japanese balloon bombs. Word spread quickly through the communities, and soon groups of curious children gathered near the downed balloons, collecting scraps of paper and rope as souvenirs of this extraordinary event. Government officials, however, immediately pooped the party with their "we gotta take Japanese bombs serious" approach to the situation. As a result, the enthusiastic youth were stripped of their trinkets as authorities thumbed their nose at the age-old law of the land: finders, keepers, and of course, losers be weepers. Recognizing the potential danger posed by these devices, they quickly removed the bombs from the pasture and warned residents about the risks associated with tampering with any similar objects they might encounter. As you can imagine, the townsfolk were appreciative and thanked the officials for warning them not to touch the things they now knew were bombs. The incidents in Desdemona and Woodson highlighted the vulnerability of the American homeland to attack, even from thousands of miles away. Though, to be fair, the Texans did organize a neighborhood balloon watch that would have seen the demise of any unauthorized floating objects in their neck of the woods. The balloon bombs that landed in Texas were not isolated incidents. They were part of a larger, audacious campaign orchestrated by the Japanese military, a desperate attempt to turn the tide of the war in their favor. Honestly, it's incredible how inept the Japanese were at inflicting damage on the US homeland. Shockingly inept. Beginning in November 1944, the Japanese military released thousands of these hydrogen-filled balloons from sites on the eastern coast of Japan. Carried by the prevailing winds of the jet stream, these silent and deadly emissaries embarked on a trans-Pacific journey, destined for the mainland United States. The Japanese military hoped that these balloons would ignite massive forest fires in the Pacific Northwest, disrupt war production, and sow panic among the American populace. The balloons, however, proved to be more of a nuisance than a strategic threat. While a few hundred balloons did reach the North American mainland, their impact fell far short of Japanese expectations. The vast majority landed harmlessly in remote areas, and the damage they inflicted was minimal at most. The only known fatalities attributed to the balloon bombs occurred in Oregon, where 6 civilians, including 5 children, were tragically killed while picnicking. Of course, this was just as likely a cover-up for a government weapons testing mishap that just so happened to coincide with the ill-advised Japanese balloon bombs, because let's face it, a random balloon traverses the Pacific and falls right into the middle of a mum and her 5-kid picnic? Not likely. And if it did happen like that, perhaps that family had run afoul with God, because man, that's some bad luck. Despite their limited success, the Japanese balloon bombs had a profound psychological impact on the United States. The realization that the enemy could strike at the American mainland, even with such a seemingly rudimentary weapon, shook the nation's sense of security. In response to this new threat, the US government imposed a strict news blackout on any information related to the balloon bombs. Officials feared that publicizing the attacks would embolden the Japanese and potentially lead to widespread panic among the American public. This blackout effectively silenced any mention of the balloon bombs in newspapers, radio broadcasts, and other media outlets. The Japanese, unaware of the limited success of their campaign, eventually discontinued the program in April 1945. The forgotten story of the Japanese balloon bombs serves as a reminder of the global reach of World War II and the unexpected ways in which conflict can touch even the most seemingly distant corners of the world. It also highlights the resilience and resourcefulness of the human spirit.